Hello users. In this video, I will explain how the examples menu that come pre-loaded with the plugin actually are made. As they use Chat Fetcher, it might be complex for new users to understand. There are timestamps on the video as well. Open the main GUI manager with /GUI command. We will first look at the bank example GUI. Right-click to open the GUI editor. Navigate to Scene Editor for Scene 0. Click Setup Inventory. We will first look at the Deposit button GUI item. As you see, it has no primary conditions applied. Navigate to Click Events, and you should see a Chat Fetcher Click event. Right-click to edit it, and you will see the Chat Fetcher Settings menu. There are multiple options here as you see, as well as an option to toggle Chat Fetcher message. This will toggle disable or enable the message where it says Type Exit to exit the Chat Fetcher. Navigate to Set Click Event, and click it. Run a command for the player. Click Event will run the specified command for the player. In this case, reopen the GUI for them once they are done. Message Player Click Event will send a message to the player, in this case the success message for depositing the money to the bank. Save Information per Player Click Event will take the save format given and save the data for the player operating the GUI. The format is field name, value, no spaces. Remove Money Click Event will remove the money from the player. Navigate to Conditions. There are two conditions. One of them is player has balance. This is set to %input%. This is a placeholder for the Chat Fetcher, which will be replaced by the input from the player. This checks if player has enough balance using the Vault API. Another condition is the is integer condition. This also have %input% set, and the condition will check if the input from the player is an integer. That is about it for this button. You can customize the condition fail message here too. The withdraw button is very similar to the deposit button. Conditional placeholder condition will parse the condition set from placeholder API's placeholders and internal placeholder and check if the condition is met. In this case, it will check if the input is less than or equal the player's bank balance. Now we will exit to the main GUI manager and have a look at the admin panel example menu. Open the main GUI manager by using the command /GUI. Click the Admin Panel button to open GUI Editor for the admin panel. Now navigate to Edit Scenes button and click it. Navigate to Scene 0 button and click it as well. You are in the scene editor now. Find the Setup Inventory button and click it. We will go over the following buttons in the GUI one by one and explain anything new in them, but most of them share a lot in common, so to keep the video short, some information won't be repeated. We will first look at the Ban User button. Let's look at its click events. This button has only two click events, one being the message click event, and another being the player picker command executor click event. This click event will basically display a GUI to the player who clicked this button with all the online players listed for them to choose from, and run the command that is specified once the user has chosen a player and replace the respective placeholder with the selected player's name. Now let's go on to the conditions for this button. There is only one condition. Player has permission condition is pretty self-explanatory. It checks if player has the specified permission. In this case, it checks if player has the permission GUI.ban.user. Now let's go to the Kick User button. It is similar to this button, whereas the Pardon User button is a little different. Let's look at click events first. As you see, the click events are the same ones used for the ban user button. Now let's look at the conditions. As you see, it is about the same for the condition as well. Let's look at the last button now, the pardon user button. The click events are a little different. Instead of the player picker command executor click event, it has the offline player picker command executor click event, which basically does what the player picker command executor click event does, but it shows all the players on the menu, online and offline. The button is pretty much same other than that specific click event. Very similar condition as well. That is about it. I hope you can now better understand how the example menus are made and can be customized.